Hi guys, welcome back to Tech Tuesday, your weekly look at everything to do with technology within golf. And this week we're going to be looking at the question of value versus product and a little bit of a discussion about what you guys think about a few things which are happening at the moment. We're also going to have a look in the same context at milled wedges, which are pretty much all the rage at the moment, and then move on to putters and what are at the moment the most winning putters on tour. Now last week it was announced that PXG are bringing out a 100% milled wedge. Now these are going up to $800 and starting off a very low price of $650. Everyone knows now PXG really don't care about price. They are going to make the best product that they think they can and then charge whatever they think they can get for it. To them, it really doesn't matter. They've got Bob Parsons, the owner. He's backing them with millions and millions of dollars. They're just not bothered. They're going to do what they're going to do, even if it does cost an exorbitant amount of cash. In the same week, James Patrick Harrington, who Titleist signed up 3 years ago, has made a reappearance. Now, for you guys who don't know, James Patrick Harrington, or JP as he will now be known for the rest of this vlog, is a wedge maker. Now, he started off in his mum's garage, I think 3 years ago, well, longer than 3 years ago, until he got signed up by Titleist. Basically hand grinding specialized wedges, and he built up quite a cult following, and the wedges that he produced were beautiful. That's the only real way of describing it. It was crafted, you know, it was a hand crafted beautiful lump of metal. And as his star was rising, Titleist signed him up, and then he went missing for 3 years, but now he's made a reappearance and the new wedges that he's producing look amazing. The experience that he's giving does look amazing, although it is looking expensive also. So from a technology point, before we go on to the value question, let's actually have a look at what some of the manufacturers are doing and why they are pushing this so heavily. First thing you've got to look at is the technology. So CNC milling machines, they've been around for a while, and people will know about milled clubs. If you think about putters, they've been having a milled design for a number of years now. But the technology is moving on, and it is now becoming cheaper, it's becoming more manageable, and the equipment that these manufacturers have now, the milling machines, are really good. What these machines do is they allow designers on CAD and lots of other pieces of software to design wedges, in this particular case, upload them directly into the machine, and then just mill a wedge. Just mill it out. In fact, there's a really good video. I will play the video now. This is PXG's video about how they are making their new wedges, so the 100% milled wedge.
PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
And that's pretty dramatic, certainly the end of that anyway. But the process there looks amazing. It's mesmerizing to watch. And something like that from a technology standpoint, for a geek, it's great. And bear in mind, wedges and other clubs, they've always been ground as far as the sole is concerned. From Gene Sarazen invented the sand wedge when he was hand grinding the soles, wedges are ground anyway. The difference is with the milled grind wedges and with the CNC milled wedges, they are all done by computer, so they're done to a very, very fine tolerance. And this is where the manufacturer is pushing it. They're saying they can design these clubs to such a high specification now and actually produce them incredibly accurately. And that brings us back on to JP, who, as I've already mentioned, has pretty much been missing for 3 years, but now he's come out with the JP wedges with Titleist and also the JP wedge fitting experience. Now, there's a couple of online articles about this. I'm going to take from a couple, from Golf WRX, from My Golf Spy, who've covered JP for a number of years now. And what he's doing does look very good. Now all these fittings, and they have to be fittings when you get one of these JP wedges, takes place at the Titleist Performance Institute in California. So obviously you've got to get there. And when you get there, it's $2,000 for 3 hours. And in that 3 hours, you will get 3 wedges. They will be custom built by JP. They will be made exactly to your specification. And just to give you a little bit of a background, when Titleist actually signed this guy, a lot of the speculation was, is Vokey going to be moved to the side? Is his time coming to the end? But no, Bob Vokey's still making the wedges. The Vokey wedges are still coming out. And the best wedges at the moment, if you're not looking at these extreme examples, you've got the Vokeys, you've got the Callaways, the MD3s, which I use, I really like. Then the milled grind wedges, tailor-made, which I'm going to be moving to, I would have thought, because I really like them. Then you've got the Cleveland, the RTX. I mean, such great wedges out there at this moment in time. But what PXG and what JP is doing here, they seem to be elevating this. So elevating the wedge, the humble wedge, although it is one of the most important clubs in the bag, to a whole different level. Thing is it elevated performance-wise? Probably not. But the experience, that's what they're going for. But it's $2,000, and it does raise the question, is it worth $2,000? Which then also raises the question of, what are golf clubs worth? What is the material value of these golf clubs? And there are a couple of online articles on this which you can find out more information. And I'm going to read here from the My Golf Spy article, which is, yeah, very good. It's been written by Tony Covey, who's the editor of My Golf Spy. And there's 3 paragraphs in here which really do frame this question very well. So Tony talks about how the $2,000 gets you the 3 hours of one-to-one time along with the 3 wedges. Additional wedges at $500 each, so still exorbitantly expensive. Exorbitantly? Is that a word? Massively expensive, but still just under that PXG range. However, I think this really does frame the question I'm about to ask. While the price tag, no doubt, this is what Tony's wrote, will leave some of you rolling your eyes, I expect several comments detailing how JP and Titleist are why golf is dying. The reality is that golf clubs have become all but commoditized. The difference isn't so much the product, it's in the fitting, the details, and the intrinsic value found in the experience. It's the reason why the PXG model is working, and exactly the reason why I suspect JP Experience will be as successful as it be given the inherent limitations. So the inherent limitations here are obvious enough. Now he's only doing these 3 hour sessions in California, and there will only be a select number of people going who can make it. But also, $2,000 for 3 wedges, that's out of reach for 99% of the people who play golf. Imagine going to your wife, your partner, your husband, your boyfriend, whoever it may be, and saying, dear, I know you really want to eat this month, but I really want some wedges. It ain't going to go down that well. It may do, I don't know, but try it. And here's where this argument is really well framed. Is this really just about this experience? Is it about owning something that no one else has? You can draw parallels. I mean, the watch market, I think, is a very good parallel to draw from this. At the end of the day, if it's not a smartwatch, so it's not an Apple Watch or something that has multifunction, if it's a Rolex, for example, that just tells the date, it just tells the time, in that order, it does the same function as a Casio. One more. Now this is my Casio G-Shock. Now this was £100 I think when I bought it. I got it when I used to do a lot more running, a lot more exercise. I actually used to do a little bit of climbing as well. So I just wanted something that could stand up to being whacked around. Really like it. And it has solar energy. So this thing is powered by light. Technically it should never need another battery. It tells the time, it has a stopwatch on it as well. It tells the date. It's got a lot of stuff going for it. It does all the things that a Rolex does. However, a Rolex is more desirable. It's a desirable object. And is that what PXG and this JP fitting experience is? Is it that desire? Is it that status symbol? Is it that commodity that you could own over, say, a Vokey or a Callaway and something that a lot of other people may have? Because here's the thing. Even though that JP experience and looking through it does look excellent, please go to his website, please check out My Golf Spy, WRX, where they've done articles on JP. And the PXG wedges, 100% milled wedges, they look fantastic as well. The money you would spend on them is not justifiable at this moment in time when you compare them to the performance of what other brands are doing. Callaway, Vokey, TaylorMade, Cleveland, Mizuno, all these wedges are superb. They are really, really good. And PXG and these JP wedges, as beautiful as they look, they are not going to perform that much better. I'd certainly be willing to try them. I'd certainly be willing to give them a go and really test them up against everything else. But I don't think that's what PXG and JP are actually going for here. They're going to sell that commodity. They're going to sell that experience. I think I just can't quite get my head around the performance question. There's a couple of questions I'm going to throw out at you. Would you save up for an experience like this? Would you spend the money on something like this? What do you think the differences between these wedges are? Have you tried these wedges? I've tried PXG clubs before and I do like them, but again, the performance is very, very similar to the other leading brands out there. But as always, it's thrown open to you guys. Please discuss. Now, the last thing we're going to look at, it's a couple of press releases which have been sent around and actually quite a few questions which have been asked about the new TaylorMade Spider Tour putters. So the ones that Sergio's using, he's using the Jason Day model, the all red head. Dustin Johnson obviously has the all black head. And people are saying, oh, are these the best putters? They seem to be taking over the tour. Loads of people are using them. What do you think? Well, what I've done is I've actually had a look through all the winners from the 2016-2017 season so far on the PGA Tour. I've taken out a couple of doubles events, so I've just gone for the individual winners, and I've included multiple wins here. So I've listed all the players and the putters that they were using at the time of their win. Now, they could have changed it since, but this is what they were using at the time of their win. Now, at the moment, on top, Scotty Cameron has 12 putters at the moment, and they are in the lead by almost, well, by double. You got Nike using 1, Ping 1, Odyssey 5, Sick Putters 1, that was DA Points in Puerto Rico, Ping 1, and then TaylorMade 6. But like I said, this includes multiple wins. So you've got Hideki Matsuyama, Justin Thomas. Hideki's had 2 wins, Justin's had 3 this year, so that obviously pumps the numbers up by 5. Then you've obviously got Dustin Johnson, who has 3 wins this year using his putter. But at the moment, Scotty Cameron still is winning on tour with the amount of players winning using their putters. And it's certainly something that I've seen when I've been on tour with these players, not playing, but just bugging them. And when I've seen their bags, a lot of them do have absolutely custom-made Scotty Cameron. And the reason for that is a lot of players only have up to a certain numbers of clubs that they have to have in their bag if they're sponsored by companies. You have exceptions, so Rory McIlroy obviously got the 14 club deal, but I know quite a few tour pros who have a 13 club deal or a 12 club deal or just an iron deal. A lot of players, certainly James Busby, my friend who's still off tour, still injured unfortunately, he had a TaylorMade wood deal, a Srixon iron and wedge deal, but he could use whatever putter he wanted. And a lot of players do have that. They leave that part of their bag open because they want to experiment. And it shows just how important putters are. They're about confidence, they're about feel, they're about finding what works for them. That's why you see so many players, say it's a TaylorMade player, a Callaway player, it doesn't really matter. They will have their own individual putter. They will put with whatever they think will work the best. So to answer those questions, Scotty still leading on tour, although TaylorMade, they are catching up. They are the next closest competitor, which did surprise me. I would have thought Odyssey. The one thing I don't know is the complete numbers. So for all I know, Scotty Cameron could be leading on wins, it could be leading on the number of players using their putter, but Odyssey could be leading that statistic as well. TaylorMade could be leading it for all I know. And I'm not entirely sure where I could find that out. So that's just a bit of research, taking me half an hour just to go through all the what's in the bags on My Golf Spine, the PGA Tour website, and that's what I've come up with. Right guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow me on my other channels as well, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, and Hole19 as well. Please subscribe, comment, do all the rest of it. I'm almost at 100,000 subscribers now as well, so if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. If you've not got a Gmail account, just create one. It only takes a few minutes. I want to get to that number as quickly as possible. It would mean a lot. Right guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.